So connect with you first. You know, I see like a farm with crocodiles right away. Like I see one after another coming, like kind of from this side, and it's almost like they're stuck in motion. They came from this 1, 2, 3, 4, and like endless. It's a holographic image of crocodiles. Like I touched it and dissipated. It just poof and it's gone. And I see you standing on the, so there's like a bridge. The crocodiles were underneath. I touched them. It's a hologram, so it disappeared. And you're standing on the right side of me, looking at it, like I see you now. And in your thoughts, like, look at all these crocodiles trying to get us. We need to protect ourselves. And I see the grays. You know, they're just motionless, but I feel like, well, there's a big reptilian laughing behind the grays. So there's like 5 grays, and they created the whole hologram, basically kind of holding it together with technology behind. And the reptilian rather looks like a crocodile hybrid, laughing at the whole thing. He said, well, I'm still holding the you know, like a puppet with the cords coming from it, like it's
Yeah.
holding your family. I can tug the ropes. Let me see how he got attached. He said, well, I came back. What did you get? Doubts. He said, I have the technology to put doubts in the heads, especially at night. Some weak points, I know. He said, because when you get clean, you're always like a threat to the system. So we get sent in to try to get the person, and since we have the database of information, we know everything and even more that the person may not even know about himself or herself. And then I see you like on a big like he created the bubble over your bubble of energy. And you kind of like it just so he put your son and your daughter inside and they merged you all in again. And I see now the session there, the first one, when you got separated. 2 days later he merged you back in and put like it looks like copper type metal structure over it, like just like a ball over it to hold it kind of together. So what he does, he manipulates. He would manipulate your daughter when he sees her kind of getting her vibration higher. He'll try to lower it, and he would use her as a device to shoot energy, low vibrational energy, into you and your son. And so you're kind of like at this Bermuda Triangle into each other whenever you have something, some thought, influence of low vibrational, you know, emotion. It would like automatically, you would mirror image it, kind of like automatically shoot at the other two. That's what I see going on. I see that again. Because you're very connected in thought and emotion, you're like, basically you're like one. And when you're like one, it's easy to see your weakness comes from your empathy, your empathic abilities. When you deal with others, when you deal with your kids, you think of it about them, you feel, you know, sorry or bad for them, and that this is like the hook that he gets attached to you, and he just does this all kinds of manipulations via your emotional mental bodies. So let's just do this thing. You can just create the portals out of this energy sphere, come out, remove all three of you, this metal structure over it, separate this last one is like a mother cell separates into 3 cells, and each one takes energy sphere that belongs to his or her own energy. I still see the connection going, and I don't see implants in you. In 3 of you, I don't see them. It's mostly that there was like some energy. It's not a cocoon of energy. I don't know how to describe it. It's like if you put little chunks of dust around the person to create something that would rather kind of preserve or give access to you through that, or you can put a program in and it would start circulating around that person's energy, or hold it and prevent it from expanding and raising the vibration. So that's kind of what he did. You don't have that, but your children, like your daughter and your son, had that. Your daughter mostly, because your son has chunks of it, but they're kind of separated and they're not kind of floating around. So it was like the rings of Saturn, but the other motion more like vertical. So you just decide, all 3 of you, to break that connection. 1, 2, 3, you break it. It just disappears like cords, and they're broken. So you call in this reptilian, and you say that you're not allowed to invade the energy. I know where it leads. It leads to the moon, the whole thing here. I think there's a barrier right now, but if I feel like there is a portal through the center of the moon. Somehow I see there's like a center of the moon has it's like a jump room. I see the interesting configuration going on. It's like the circle, but it turns into a square, that it starts rotating, changing into circle. And when a reptilian stands in there, he kind of like teleports himself into whatever person that used to be in SSP but no longer there, but they think that they might trigger that person one way or another to get him or her back. But they're not going to be doing it on the moon anymore. I feel like they have different alternative project of alternative, artificially created reality, similar to what we had before. Because they have some screen and they have the interesting also looks like a constellation, but it's not a constellation, it's different squares, and I feel like there's 5 people in each square, the names, and they connected, and they're different. It's like mapping system of people, how they relate to each other by DNA, but their characteristics, but their weak spots, weaknesses, by the traumas that they sustained in SSP and also in the physical, and what kind of techniques might work to get them back into the system. That's what I feel they're doing now. They're constantly trying to target because they still have a little time left. 20% of time left. So it shows up on the screen. It's almost like a timer. And I see it was ticking from like 100 and now it's down to 20, 18, you know, like that.
What's the time left for?
Before it's like the time's over. Time's over for
Before the flash?
no, it's not the flash. Time's over. They lose control. They push them out
Oh, okay. For the
from
bad people.
because look, I see people in 3D and I see this. They come to us through 4D. There's like a level where they interfere with us through. And I feel like this level of 4D getting squished now. It's getting thinner and thinner, as if we're kind of making it thinner. The interesting part is in the etheric, it's much faster. It's almost done. But in the physical, that's what they're using. They're using the streak. In the physical, we kind of see that nothing is really happening, and there's a lot of frustration. A lot of people get vaccinated and all that. But the physical reality is lagging. You know, it's like a movie that is slow motion, but there it's in the fast motion already.
Right.
And there's a buffer zone. And we're trying to get through the buffer zone.
Right.
Right now. And that's what they have been doing. Like once you know it, you basically send him back to the moon. This guy is there with his 5 little grays in this jump room in the middle of the moon. And that's where I usually see an essence of a planet, but they're just a jump room. There's a cube around it, the black goo, they hold it. Black goo is like a fuel for them. Of AI, kind of any AI technology is fueled by the black goo. They can take over a human body, fuel it with that, and the human body would become completely controllable. That's what they're trying to do, I think, with the vaccines too. Because they manipulated the molecular structure of it and put it in the vaccines. They're constantly draining it, and it keeps reproducing it. It's just weird. I see like a valve, you know, like you open it and get it into containers, and you can distribute it into different like platforms around the moon, Mars, Saturn, whatever you want. But then it always gets filled up and reproduced. It's almost like it mimics the soul energy because we're a constant fountain of energy that keeps reproducing. And the same thing with the black hole, it keeps reproducing. It's never ending, you know, it's never going to be depleted type thing. Well, what we're doing, we're just kind of forcing through the action and consciousness. Consciousness it's like a fight in between consciousness of the human biological and consciousness of the AI, which is not really consciousness, but you can call it that way. And that's why they're trying all kinds of technology now to influence us one way or another, because they know there's going to be a point when we just gonna sprout like a rainbow of energy and cure our own selves by ourselves type thing. That's what I feel. It's like an explosion of energy gonna cover us all, but it's gonna come from your own self, because we're gonna be able to do things in the physical we can only do now in the etheric. Like I can do this and I'll have a bouquet of flowers. I can do that and I'll have a, you know, spaceship by me.
Really?
Yeah, because I create everything by thought. I can shapeshift into a dolphin. I can shapeshift into whatever I want. Yes. I mean, that's what we do. That's how we create. there. It's in the physical that first you have to have a thought, then you have to move to do something, you know, towards that idea so you can build it up. But the minute you think of something, it's already created and there's etheric, you just don't see it with physical eyes. But if you start moving through this thick layer of physical towards that goal, you will definitely build it up and reach it. It depends on your energy build up. You know, like you have to build it up to make it come down. So that just is. That's how we are creators, beings. That's what we do. We create. You can create a planet for yourself if you wanted to. I can create a universe easily and build it up inside the way I want it. It's all holographic. And our mind is kind of like works with holographic images. The thought is just a hologram opens up in front of you via your thought. So you think it in to being. That's what I do.
So while you're in that thought process with my other two kids, can you bring in Jeremy, who's my oldest son? Because now he said he gives permission.
Yeah, he has in his middle section here, like his waist, he has a thick metallic tube around him, spinning like a ring of Saturn, and it creates like energy down the legs, and it really makes this part of his body from belly button down very heavy. He feels heaviness in it's like it's draining him, and I think it's going to some civilization that shows up. They are this kind of like red-skinned people underground. They have very strange heads sticking out here, like perfectly round shape, but then it's like the face here, it's almost like so long. And very thin body structure. They wear some robes. When they go through the portals, they have portals underneath. They wear a special outfit. It's like a black rubberized suit with a helmet. Helmet kind of looks like it's a glass that opens and closes. Looks like a bike helmet. Those motorbikes helmet like that. They came from here. They came from the civilization of that's one of the Nebu alliance of 6 from Grey alliance. And they came through the earth in a portal to be here because they were trying to, well, there was the government knows about them. And I feel like your son has something to do in the parallel lives with the governmental. I actually see him in some like German uniform, black with the stripes on the side, and this kind of like on this, it's on the left, my right, like the German eagle thing. Kind of like old looking uniform. It says he's from Fourth Reich. And he's been in third one too, but right now in fourth. And
He has a lot of He has a lot of bone problems, teeth. His teeth are always giving him problems.
Let me see. He's just depleted from that. It's like this civilization takes away his energy. He looks almost like he's stuck in a barrel. You know, like they have these barrels with oil, machine oil or something. because I don't even see, I only see half of him. From the belly button and up, I see his body. And I also see a mantis behind him, like holding onto him like this. But these grays are mostly the ones, and they are just like grays but with red, brick color skin. They are, I know why mantis, because it's a blend, it's a mix, mutation of a mantis and a gray. I'm trying to find the name. It kind of makes my head hurt looking at them. It's got the 34 different lives related and connected. It's almost like it says these are overlaid ones. So basically there's some technology that he's connected to. It looks like a fiber optic fibers from his right in the middle of his back, like here, it's just coming like this and connected to his spinal cord, and it holds it's almost like, you know, like the structure of lungs. They have this corpusculars or little bags, round ones. I forget the English term for it, but it doesn't matter. So it's like, and each one holds a program of a life, and there are 34 of them. And they can access any one of them to pull his energy body out through this technology system into this life, to use him as if he had 34 altars, and each belonged to a different life, different mission, in which, you know, they call life, and they could use him in each and every one of them. And then I see underground, there's just like a big room, and it has like a big tube, but it's molded into the like a black stone platform. It's coming out of it, and there's just fumes. It's not gel, it's filled up with energy fumes, like this. And somehow this is the machine that powers up the other machines like that, connected to a lot of people, not only him. But basically you plug it into the person's back to get to the central nervous system, and then through that you have a direct connection with the soul, which is like the heart area. And so you get the I feel like what a lot of times he has the pockets in his physical life when he's not present in the body. They would just put him into this mission, use him up for, you know, it can be like 1 day or 2 or 3 days, and his body would be running on autopilot, so he would not be even there.
Yeah, but he doesn't sleep either. He cannot sleep for anything.
Yes, because it's his body goes crazy because it's a part of him, and his soul chose it, you know, to be in it. But then when it's artificially extracted from it and put into a cloned body, it doesn't feel well, and he feels sick inside. He feels there's disconnect, there's something wrong. He goes in overdrive to find out what is going on with him. And it's like this constant anxiety inside, you know, where's
right? Yes.
my energy body? Come on, you know, where is it? To find it, but he can't figure out with his logical part. Yeah, there's clearly 34 different. Well, he's in all kinds of missions. He's jumping off the helicopters. He's like in Iraq, Iran. It's different. He's in Asia, underground facilities. I also see Spain, I see Switzerland. It's all like he's all over the place with all this. He has some special ability to, it's like his energy, I feel like he can open like wormholes in designated, they use him like a key to open the wormholes or something like this. Energetically, he can connect, blend in with the energy point that they know where it is, and he can activate or deactivate a certain portal or wormhole. So it's like he's used for that. Because I see he opens a portal and there's literally very weird reptilians comes through, you know, like those old ancient dinosaur types with a very long necks with a little tiny face.
Yeah.
Looks like a lizard like this. Yeah. And they're in armor. They're dressed. But the neck is so long and it's like it's so ugly, the face. The little black eyes, like real vicious looking. I see those are coming through. He opens them for, and that's when he feels like a boost in his physical body, like he doesn't like what they make him do, because he doesn't want those beings in the earth, you know, in the everywhere here, infiltrating it. But basically that's what he does because he's forced to do it. There's constant conflict in between his energy body, his soul, and his physical, because he wants to be one and centered into his own essence. Let's just disconnect from now let's go where it all started. That's important. Life number 6. There's some mountains. Tibetan mountains. There's by the mountains there's some villagers. And he's like one of them. He just leads. He's actually a woman. He has 3 kids. His husband is gone for some hunting or whatever that is to bring food. I see some strange tribe coming. I don't know where they came from. It's almost like they came from this spacecraft. They look very strange looking. They look like human, but they have very wide, flat faces. They have the long eyes. The bones, you see the bones through the skin. It's like the skin is like tight on the bones. It looks like there's some sort of hybrids with ant and human. Like if you blend an ant and human, 38% of ant and the rest is humanoid type kind of DNA. And they destroy the whole village. They shoot some, those look like plasma balls. They shoot, there's only 8 houses and they shoot them and they explode. And at that point, in that moment, I see he's being taken by those reptilian, by the Greys, but then the Greys bring his soul and some sort of glass tube to the reptilians. I just see him in some underground facility and then transported in some sort of suit, like case, into the moon when they create like lots of clones. They created those clones at the moon, like floating facility to the side here. it's like a tunnel system, and it goes into different rooms that connected with each other. That's how that all started. So basically it was created on purpose. I think those villages that were kind of high vibrational, rather very wise old souls. I feel like they lived more than 250. 250 was like an average when they would live for this long. Different civilization. Trying to look at the star. Oh, boy, I can't pronounce this thing. Etkacher star system. What is this? I mean, I can't say it. They say it like kind of it's in the throat. It's ETCAHCH again, like something like this. I have hard time, but it looks like, so there's like 9 planets in the oval kind of shape, like a constellation, but it's not a constellation. It's an interesting thing. It's like a solar system, looks like, but they created an artificial sun type structure. It's totally artificial, and around it there are planets. And I feel like something happened to the original, so they recreated it. And I see like there's overlays of energies from all the 9 planets put together, a little bit from each essence, and they created this one kind of sun looking thing. And basically they're circulating, but they only get to the point like white nights in St. Petersburg. They don't have the dark night, which they used to have. It seems like they use pretty similar to what we have here. And he came from there. But well, they do have files, and they also have papers. Papers are in the underground facility where he was taken first, and he asked them to bring the papers to his energy sphere and put them on the table he created. And then the files are on the moon, black folder with the metallic, like, you know, the Nazi eagle was the holding the circle with the swastika in it. That's what it is on the folder. And he took it, it's like a hologram. He pulled it out of the computer. He's holding it. It's a funny thing because he's holding it, but it's like a hologram. You can see it's like a 3D thing. He opened it as a book. He turned it into a book. He has like 34 different. It's as many as many clones he has. So it seems like they would try to put like each clone would have, with each clone they would create, they would put more and more technology into a clone, and also almost like trying to transform a clone into something more robotic, like a cyborg type, and then to enhance the features to see how much they can do based on his own DNA. So he just makes like he creates like a fireplace, and he puts lots of logs, and I see him putting this book in there, and he also puts the papers in there, and the papers, there's a lot of them. There's like a whole bunch of them, and I think those have to do with missions. It's like a description of every single mission in them, because there's definitely more than 34 papers. There's more like towards 80 or 90 or whatever these papers there. So he puts them in the fireplace. He takes this system it's literally looks like a fiber optic, like a different fiber sticking out of his back. He just unplugs it. It's like a device. It's connected. He had like a suction cup connected with his, like the heart, just covering it. And from it, I see little dots throughout his energy body, like dots, 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 dots. And those are chakra overlays. And when they turn them on to drain energy, they would expand in a circular motion, like vortex, all of them. And then they would like shut down into a single spot, different colors, like we draw chakras to us. So he took those out too. And they're all like connected energetically. It's like a beads on one line. He's holding them now. Put them into the portal too. And this whole thing is huge. It's like an industrial size thing. And there's a huge hole in his back that he is telling him to raise his vibration and to fill it up with his energy. So, opens the portal, puts that one in. Those in. Closes. So the energy goes like building up. It's like yellow and yellow energy, more likely glittery gold a little bit, but mostly like yellow, like we see the sun, like that. The whole star system, it's all like yellow stars, yellow color, bright yellow color, kind of planets. They're all different shades of yellow, but they are yellow. The sun is this blue. The sun they artificially created is kind of blue with greenish on the sides, which is interesting. And that's how his energy goes. It's like yellow inside, but then he raises vibration, it becomes light yellow. Pushes the yellow on the outside like an aura, and aura becomes green. So he did this, he disconnected himself from those clones by unplugging that thing. So basically when they all expire, the pieces of the fragments of his soul will just go back to his, we can call it high self, or his original kind of like energy of his whole energy essence. Because it has to be, they have to be cleansed. Like somehow it's so easy when it goes down up, and then they cleansed in such a perfect way. It's just like in this dimension, and the force, we're working at this level. It's rather dangerous to do the same thing. There may be contamination. So I see him as a little boy right now. He's literally like so young, like 5 or 6. I see him playing with the car, and I see him on the bike with the helmet. Pretty funny. He's showing it to me. It's almost like I see him here as right now, his age, but here it's like a projection of a little documentary about his childhood. Oh, he's showing me that they used to come and they used to, it's almost like the grades would come and they would use different, it's like projector technology thing, to shine different lights at him, and those have different frequency waves, and they would see how his physical body would react. And he's telling me that this little boy, he's been irradiated so much with like radiation from those machines. How it looks kind of like a big flashlight composed of different little flashlights put together in a projector, and they would like the whole bed he would sleep on would just be like lit up. But then every time they would come, it would be different color lights, like different frequencies. It's almost like they would try to mold his physical for them to mutate his DNA. Should check his DNA also, to be able to connect better, to control him better. Because there's something about his DNA that would be frustrated about. Something they cannot manipulate him completely the way they would want to manipulate him, and he would rebel a lot, participating in those projects and all this. That's what I feel. He would do the opposite what they would ask him to do, and they wanted to be able to completely shut his own true self, so he would be like susceptible to commands and what they originally wanted him to do. His DNA is 8%, 8.7, almost 8.8 gray. There's 3% reptilian, and I feel like they would use that 3% reptilian to make him agitated, to make him angry at himself, basically. And gray DNA they try to use to be able to connect better with him. All those like tall whites and Nordic beings, they would want to mutate the body towards. It's like part of the big, it's like little projects, but they really are part of one big project.
Are we able to deactivate those parts of the DNA?
Yeah, he's working on it now. I see the strands, and I see his strands. Imagine these straws, right? Like a straws, round straws, and they're spinning in the this motion. What he does, he touches them with his energy hands. He makes them spin in the different motion. It's like counterclockwise type thing to undo all the damage and everything they've done. He also creates like a big, basically his energy sphere, he turns into a big light. It's white, transparent light, and he lights through himself, his energy, bodies, emotional and mental, and he says right now everything's gonna be undone, like undone, and molecular structures that have been changed by them are going to be changed back to the original form. And he also activated the mechanism of regeneration of his organs, because his organs look like they're covered with some little tiny little plates, almost like round, tiny. They look like M&Ms type structures. Like that's the only way to describe it, kind of. And it's because of all the influence they had via those waves. It's like they would burn up the mucous membrane of the organs and would melt the little cells,
He's also got a bad back. He's got bulging discs. Can you go to before that and like recreate that?
Yeah, well, he did that already, because remember I told you there's like an industrial, that was a huge thing. It's like one part twisted into another. It all looked like a metallic part going straight through his back in the middle of his, right here, like
Okay. Yeah.
pushed
Yeah.
through,
Yeah.
connected to his heart. Because they completely changed the way, like electromagnetic field of his heart.
Yeah. Because
So
he's always been sad. Well, he's had a lot of sadness.
yeah, we
Can
took it
can
all out.
can he disconnect from his father? Because he's got a huge connection, not a positive one with his father.
His father has like kind of like a snake type being, but it's not like a snake like you usually see. It's a humanoid with a snake face. It
That sounds like
has, uh,
yeah, it
yeah,
definitely
it's.
sounds like him.
I feel like it has. It has some also dragon DNA in it because I see the wings on the back, but he doesn't use them. They're like in rudimentary state. He's black. He's the one who was trying to get to him, grab him, use him for his energy. He's basically using his father for energy. Um, there's nothing like no research or any type of thing. Just basically the only thing he has is a snake person in his energy sphere who's completely sucking him out. His vital energy is all gone. And he's like an energy vampire as a person in the physical. He wants to
Yeah.
connect to people and just drain them.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah. He just created this big scissors and cut it off. His connection to him. It was more through his head because he would get like psychic attacks from him, like straight into his head, kind of area, the third eye.
Yeah, the last time you were saying that somebody was like he was like a marionette because he had something over his eyes, like these metal things, like 7 metal things, you said?
Mm, not anymore. I don't see those anymore. And you just mentioned about his father. He doesn't do it via implant. You know how he does it? He just thinks about him because this snake dragon mutant or hybrid makes him do that. And then the wave of that energy of thought would go towards him, kind of like try to push. Like it's like somebody shooting at you with energy, and it's around your head area right in front of you. And at some point, it would just create a crack in his energy sphere and go straight into his hand. And then he would try to heal it. He would try to make it, heal, but then he would do it again over and over.
It's interesting because it's like something's happened over the past like couple of years where Jeremy used to talk to me a lot more, and it's like hardly at all anymore, and it's like he was kind of retreating into himself more and more and more. And so whatever that is, that barrier, can you take that down?
Yeah, it's because he was mind controlled by, oh boy, those, you know what? They would take him out so much out of his physical body, he would just be talking to an empty shell most of the time, to a program that runs the body, you know?
Yeah.
But now he's in the body right now. He's in his energy sphere. He's not missing anymore. So he's kind of like rediscovering also that state of balance, because before he was cut apart, like one part is connected to those underground, who was up there in space on the moon. It's like two parts disconnected, but now he's all connected. energetically, just all like one flow of energy in his energy body. Yeah. So it's all done. Let me check. Huh. We're still trying to watch him, but because there's still over 300 people in this particular project, when they do that disconnect, I'm telling him he can give them information also. And he just creates this little boomerangs and throws them all to those 300 people who are in the same project. Yeah. Yeah, it's done. What you do? See, in your daughter, there's like your brain, it looks like it's healing itself, and it has some parts that look like little snowflakes, and she's trying hard to fill them up. It's like they've been damaged by this drinking and all the substances in it, and all the beings that would come in with it when she opens herself up. I see like a lot of times there's a group of disincarnated people that looks a lot like
She has anticipation of failure. Can you take that away?
I'm telling her to work on her emotional, mental bodies. They've been all influenced so much. They would basically just love to create with different thoughts, magnify them, make them and go in bigger and bigger spirals, so it would absorb her in her mind. And there's the whole group of disincarnated is like eating it up for energy on this particular. See, they all kind of feed off of different energy. I see like literally 20 of them would come at a time when she would be kind of drunk and start sucking the energy out of her. And then she would just kind of wake up from all of this and would feel like hollow inside and damaged psychologically. It's like somebody been abusing you, verbal and emotionally, but you just don't remember what it was exactly. So it leads you to this feeling of, nothing is worth a try, and we'll just drink again. But that's all their influence also, because she would open herself up for all those, and they're all around us. Yeah, she's shining some bright green light of healing she created. It's like a stick with the flame on top of green light, and she's just put it like a circle, drew a circle around herself, and the circle is putting the energy into her. It looks like she has holes in her mental and emotional bodies. That's what it looks, like the black holes they draw. Yeah, that's kind of like that. And she's putting the green light into them, so it makes them heal. Yeah, there's lots of them. There's like 52 in those bodies together, put together. So she just, I see it's like they're getting even bigger and they're just absorbing everything. And she feels like she's becoming bigger, and she's starting to laugh and say, look, I can get bigger like a cloud. I can expand my energy field and fill up the whole room with it around myself, so nobody can touch me. I think she's gonna do that because she's seeing it, what she can do at the etheric level. Just her physical mind has to understand she can protect herself that way. She can just expand her soul's essence and make herself big, and that's a way, to protect yourself from all those beings that would bother her before.
Does she know that she can tell them to go away and never to come back?
She knows it exactly. Her subconscious is 89% of like understanding of consciousness level. It just her conscious is about 49. So it has to go higher to even up with the subconscious for it to really work. So she has to kind of figure out, her subconscious is telling me that she has to figure out the routine for herself. Like, okay, let's protect myself before bed, when I wake up. Because the truth is, you don't have to do that. When you know the mechanisms of interference, how strong you are, then when you build up this self-esteem inside, in a way it's like a self-esteem or trust in your own self, in your own abilities, in your own strengths, you don't need to put protection anymore.
Well, that's interesting because she has no self-esteem, but it had to do with her father. I told you about this the last session, but I left him when she was 5, and he didn't have anything to do with her whole life. In fact, he even said that he didn't have a daughter or a son. So he told everybody that he had no daughter or son. And his third child, he said to everybody he only had one child. So he disregarded her and her brother totally. So her self-esteem was like gone. She didn't have any.
Right. Well, she has to she has to build the self-esteem up at the physical level, and also trust in herself. It goes hand in hand, and that's why when you're 50-50, that's when it really works. For her, it's like she has to work on herself in physical a lot.
Yeah.
And she can like create routines, different ones. She can create destruction when she wants to, do alcohol again. Things like that. It's gonna take a lot of will power to do that. And I feel like she needs to be helped with that too, because she's just, it's so automatic. She's always on autopilot. I feel like
Yeah.
uh, there's little segments of, oh, like she clearly sees it, but then she goes back on autopilot into
Right.
this mind fog state. Uh, so she has to kind of pull herself out and expand those little moments of clear vision, make them bigger, and force the mind fog away. But it like every time she uses any substance, it will just open herself up and recreate what she just cleansed herself. It would all come back. That's a problem.
But what is the trigger of why she's doing that? Because there's something about like the triggering of her boyfriend, Frank. And I think you said because he had a huge spider behind him or something, and it was like, can you remove that spider behind her boyfriend?
I cannot remove the spider because I mean he's separate energy sphere, never gave me permission to work with him, doesn't even know we're doing this. She can give him the information,
Okay.
which he clearly doesn't take. Yeah. He's just like, I feel like he gets very frustrated when she's trying to talk to him on the etheric about this. And also physical probably too. Yeah, on the physical level too. He's very low. He's only 11% what I feel about him, consciousness level. He's more like he sees the physical reality and that's about it. That's how it ends for him.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's very shallow. I mean, he's basically like a heavy weight on her shoulders. Really is.
Yeah.
Being with him, it's just hard to. I see her like in some sort of mm, pit, like deep something, and she's trying to climb out, and he's like looking at her, and he wouldn't help her. He likes her being in this state.
Yeah.
So unless she understands that and stops interacting with him, I mean, he'll bring her back. She'll make a loop of getting better and go back to the same moment of being in this muddy kind of trying to climb out of this, like a trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to pull together kind of energetically with her and with understanding, like talk it through. Even if you don't talk directly to her, maybe little by little, I mean, even like
If I talk to her telepathically, does that work?
you talk to her telepathically quite a bit, I feel.
Yeah, I do.
The thing I feel that the physical level, it's hard for you to catch her at this moments of clear mind.
Yes.
So, well, she really needs to kind of stay away from this person though, but I don't know. It's like she has her own kind of process, but she needs to really get to the point of the bottom and to be able to push herself to the surface and ask for help.
I can't even imagine how much lower she can get. If I told you stories, you wouldn't believe
I,
it.
I imagine. I see this. It is just like I don't know what to do because I mean I can only work with her at the etheric level, and I know her soul is really desperate to
Yeah,
get to the physical part.
well, that's why I was saying if I could get with that person with the med beds and take her there, I mean, that would change our lives, all of our lives.
Yeah.
So, okay, is she done?
Mhm. Yeah.
How is Nicholas good and am I good?
Yeah. You all like created like a huge rainbow around all of you. And I do see the ocean behind you, like behind you now, too.
There was something I thought of with Billy, with my ex-husband, and because I have a huge constipation issue, and I've tried to get rid of it, but I think that I might be connected to him still. Can you disconnect me to him from him?
It's some unresolved issues. There's also some things that you're still angry about, something like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
You just need to let go of that. Just push it to the past, and
Well, I've had past lives with him, and I don't want any more. I don't want any more lives with him.
it's like it's in between your like uterus and in between your stomach. It lies the area where you like put this energy there, in your energy body, and you keep extracting it. I feel like when you go in the meditative state or something like this, and you take it out, and then it recreates. Uh, you just kind of have to, your past life is your past lives. I mean, you just disconnect from him. Basically, it's experience. Just take experience from it, but the emotions and everything, it just you understand what situations all this came from, so
But
you can release.
there's something with each of our lives where I lose a baby somehow in each of our lives. So I'd like to just clear any future lives, any kind of contracts, any kind of anything with him anymore.
Yeah, because energetically, um, It's that area of the body that's been always affected.
Yes, yes.
And, yeah, but he had to deal with there's some alien technology that came to me, which implants we had in the uterus. I feel like they would implant the baby into you and take the baby away. I don't know. I don't remember your last session or whatever, but that's what I feel that, and you kind of hold onto it that, I mean, it's for a woman, it's kind of hard to let go of, right?
Yeah.
So for you, it's hard, but right now you're just, I see your subconscious is working on it, just kind to dissipate the energies and cleansing it. I see like you're putting like energetic flowers in that area and just healing it vibrationally, putting like a lot of energy in that area. And I see it's kind of like interesting thing. It looks like lots of shapes of different geometrical shapes together on top of each other, and then like all spinning and cleansing the area, almost like creating a very strong energy field there, because it was pretty weak before. But yeah, it's connected. He has some strings, and just the strings got burned up. And see, you kept recreating this thing by yourself. So once you understand that as creator, you recreate it by thinking about it, by feeling it, because it was in your emotional body. You can create everything, and then since you create it, you can uncreate it also.
Right.
So that's what you just did again. Just don't create it over again, because I mean, we all have parallel lives, and we all have traumas and nows. Once we understand what those are, we disconnect and it's become our experience. And we don't need to be connected to the souls. We form clusters of souls, but they are at this earth level. It's connected totally to all the rotation of parallel lives we have here. But when we come out of the physical body and through the dome and in space, all of a sudden we're free. We're not connected to this cluster anymore.
Yeah.
We have a different cluster of souls, but it's at that platform that I see or the source, where we kind of have a tendency to bunch up together according to our frequency pattern, rather. So it's what we do naturally, but it's totally different from what we experience we have here.
My grandson, Ryan, Jeremy's son, he's like super sad. He's the sweetest little boy, and he's only 6, and he's going to be 6 in next month. And I'm just wondering, is there anything you can do to take something out of him? Because he's so sad.
I think I looked at him before, but I see him in some room, and I see like literally like a claw, metallic claw. It is a laboratory, and it's a claw. It comes out of the side, like wall next to the bed, and it's holding him tight. And they're working. It's like a whole surgery thing going on. There's a human, there's a mantis, and one gray. Gray is given the instruments type thing. The instruments look like strange. It's mostly kind of sticks with different lights, like laser, plasma, whatever comes out of it, so things like that. And they're starting some implants. And I feel like they keep inserting and reinserting and changing them up and improving them. And I'm just looking at this mantis being and looking at me. I literally heard in my head that he said that it's like to dumb down the bright souls that come to help in young bodies. That's what he said. He is a strange looking mantis. He's got this bright magenta stripes, like 3 of them. They're kind of like this motion. And his green color and purple eyes, like flashing purple eyes. Let me touch it. I think it's an AI technology, 100%. It's like a robotic type thingy. The hand, yeah, they have a lot of different things sticking out of the wall. There's like one with like a spherical thing, 2 of them connected, and they do like they can drill through your hand, like it's crazy. Yeah, I see you came here and you just did a blast of the electrical shock to like to the whole system, and they all kind of got kind of they flew away basically. It's like a blast of energy. They gave them electric shock, and the arm falls off down on the floor. I see him. You took him off the bed and you're holding him in your arms, and you take his. It's like he's got this. It's not like glasses, but thing connected to the sides of his head. So I think he's like hallucinating or something, like to make his energy body hallucinate, and also his physical in a dream state. You took it off.
He also has a speech issue.
Yeah, because they keep drilling his head with those things I just described, and the open, it's almost like an open heart surgery was going on with different things they would insert, and they would connect them with the little wires in his system, like a wiring system. Yeah, you put him in, you took him out of that lab. I actually see this lab is connected to, it's not even inside a spacecraft, it's on the platform, and the platform is connected to the spacecraft. And also the platform is getting the energy from the dome around the Earth. And I see him, you in your energy sphere right now, you just put him like on the floor, and you're talking to him telepathically, and he's opening his eyes. And you're just telling him, just take my energy. You put like your hands on his heart area and tell him, I'll give you as much energy as you need. Just push all the technology out of your body that doesn't belong to you. And he creates like it's interesting. I feel like in his, sounds like ticklish in my head inside, like all the energy from your hands goes straight to his head, and it makes it like, it's like a pulsation of energy there. It's like trying to heal it. It's bright orange. It's like this, like a heart rate goes into his head. Because not only the speech, but also visual center, third eye center, they were all impacted. They were kind of like pushed by technology, and because technology would be like embedded into the centers and distort the neural connections. That's why, I mean, it just wouldn't go the way it's supposed to be. He would rather go the way they wanted it to be, because they were not interested in his physical going the right way. Yeah, you covered everything up, and I see him like glowing the bright orange, all his body, and he starts moving. And there's a lot of stuff around him, like metal plates, squares, chips, wires. Oh, it's like a dumpster zone of metal stuff around him, and you just like tell him he's on his knees, just push it all in the portal, open a portal, and you're showing him how you can draw a portal, open it up, and just push all this stuff in there. And you create this like big waterfall of cleansing water, holding him by hand, it's just walking through it together. Walk through it. He starts jumping, feels better. Yeah, he started jumping. He made himself like the wings of a butterfly and says that, oh, I can fly.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, and that picture just disappeared when he was lying, and the whole scene changed. It's like the theater stage changed again. You will create the sparkles all around of energy, and you like creating different colors and sparkles, and you created one vortex, another one, and different colors. And you say that you like color therapy also. It just helps him. So it's done.
Can we look at his sister Juliana, because her speech is affected too?
Yeah, he said immediately, but she's in the same program. But he said there's a lot of kids in this program. There are more than 1,000 just in this country. There are other ones in the other countries. There's like, I see the number 49,000 altogether. It's crazy. So only give them information. You're just kind of like shooting the strands of energy to give them information. And he creates like a screen with what he just did with you, and projects it around her. And I see her sitting in some chair. The chair is a very strange looking thing. The back is like this. There's a big size of it. So they fixated her head in there, and she gets electric shocks straight where her ears are. Just craziest thing. There are zeta rays, and they're controlled by Dracos. Dracos are like light-skinned, beige, no tails, vicious looking. It's like this is slightly different. They classify kids different characteristics of the DNA. That's why it's a different type of experimentation going on. There are different platforms for that, and they're connected to different spacecrafts. So she gets out of it. But you do the same, you just come, you give a blast of your energy, like an electric shock. And what you did is like this chair stopped working. And she came to her senses. She got up. And she says that I need to wake up the other kids. And she runs into other room. It's like only one chair in one room, and they have the glass, observation glass, and then once in a while through the door comes this tall gray and just presses with his mind some buttons or some programs. He doesn't touch anything, he just focuses his mind on. It does different stuff. So she went to 18 rooms and she gave them all information. These are all girls too. Huh. All kinds of beings. I see in the other movies like hybrids. They take their DNA of a sort to create hybrids. So basically, to fast forward, let's see what she did. They separated, she separated her bodies, cleansed them with the light. She's using like a big flashlight to cleanse herself, and to also a magnet type big rectangular thing was the handle she created just to suck out all the implants. She's got like little tiny wires in her head, and they're all connected into some sort of structure inside. Almost looks like a helmet made out of wires, but inside is gold. That's what she took out. Lots of them, they're all in pieces. She put them into the portal. She has like 9% of Draco DNA in her too, that they infused with some shots into her essence when she was on the tube. So she takes that out. It's like little black balls that she's taken out of her DNA to go back to her original. Originally has 13 strands. She keeps showing me this thing. I saw it like 5 minutes ago. She says I was a duck being. She keeps showing it to me. It's just so funny. She likes that she was on one planet. She's like, there's a planet, the 5th dimension, looks much like Earth, but like everything is nature. And there's a lot of duck beings. They look like ducks, but they're so human. The way they act, the way their face, the eyes look human, but it's a duck body. It's just funny thing. But she said, I'm a duck all the time. I'm so excited about it. Yeah. Because I couldn't understand why this duck kept showing up in the room. That's her. Yeah, she's done.
So, so I just actually texted Frank to ask if I could do a healing on him, and he said, yes, ma'am. So can you just take away that spider so that it does it, so at least Chrissy's got a chance around him to separate from any kind of negativity?
Yeah, I'm talking to him. He asked me, who are you? I said that I'm with you. I just took like I showed him a mirror, literally a mirror, so he can see the spider behind him. Boy, the spider's changing the color. It's now become like striped green bug and shape-shifted into the bug. You know, like those shiny bugs, green?
Yeah.
How it looks like now. Some ancient technology. I just read from it. A very
Like
ancient bugs.
From Egypt?
Yes, something related to that. It become like very long and big. I mean, it's huge. It's like like 8 or 9 feet long, huge thingy.
Because Frank's mother killed herself, and he's got a lot of trauma.
Because he's working through his mental, emotional, body's nervous system, so central nervous system. He's digging into his. It's like, you know, it's like to make him psychotic type thing. I mean, it's constant, like, you know, as if you had a constant feeling of bugs crawling under your skin. That's kind of like I get
Yes.
that feeling from him.
He's
Is
actually he's like really great friends with my son, and my son and him sleep like 45 minutes a night. That's it. And they can't sleep. He's got the same issues as Chrissy and him.
but he's not in any SSP programs. He's just connected to the Mesopotamia, all the experiments they've done, mixing in the ancient labs, creating some crazy creatures, mixing DNAs of bugs and animals and humans in a mix and all this stuff. It's like he was a scientist of some sort that got attacked by his own creation. That's what I get from him.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he disconnected from that life. He changed his. He said that he changed the timeline, but never happened. I feel like there's like I literally see Mesopotamia, and I see the big lab underneath. It goes in a funny labyrinth type motion, and I see that the creatures from one of the lab broke through the glass kind of shield and got out, and they either got the souls of the basically I can call them humans, but they look giant big, worked on them, so they took them as theirs. That's what happened to him also. So you got rid of that, changed the timeline. I see him getting like from a very thin, like drained of energy into bigger. He's trying to pinpoint what kind of energy he is. He's totally transparent, translucent type of energy to me. Because as he walks, I see him changing like from kind of. It's almost like hard to describe what color it is because it doesn't really exist in the Earth plane. It's, if it makes sense, purple and yellow together. And it's really, I can't describe this color. That's what his color is. Yeah. But he is trying to resist he was trying to resist really, but got sucked into. He was trying to help originally the Earth. Because the invasion happened one after another, all the alien races, and he knew about it, but he got trapped. He's just telling me he got trapped. But he says it doesn't matter. He said the movie is over. Well, he took everything out. I saw him burning some big book in like it had some cover, like very old ancient kind of like looked like old skin cover, but feels like the paper though, brown color. So he did everything, And he just cleansed himself by hugging the tree. It's the big ancient tree. Got all the implants on it, stuff. Interesting way of doing it. Now that he sucked them all out, let's throw them out from the tree. He's done.
Oh, thank you. Okay, can I ask you, does Nikki's girlfriend Chelsea, the one that's going to be coming from Canada, did she get the vaccine?
I see the first dose, like one. I even see the ampule, like the little glass. And she still has one left.
Did it affect her badly?
I feel like she's contemplating whether to get the second dose, and mostly not. I feel like definitely yes, the first one. And I see she's here. She actually has the rest in her hand, and she's not sure. 50-50. That's what I feel.
Can you explain to her that it's bad?
Yeah, I gave her just a package of information. It's a big package. She asked me, what is this encyclopedia? I said, it's a book of self-help. She started laughing. Yeah, when I fast forward, she'll read the first 3 pages of what came to me from her. You know how she is? Her character seems to be. She focuses on one thing, but then she quickly reads it and forgets about it onto another thing. And that's kind of with vaccine too. She wanted to do it, but now she's not really sure if that was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And she's like that, jumping back and forth with everything. Kind of like, not really serious about anything.
So is that going to, can you take out whatever she had put into herself?
Oh no, I can't take out AI. That it's in her neurons. It's kind of took over her neurons. I see some of them taken over. They're like covered with black gold.
So is there anything that's going to be able to help the people that had that?
Oh my. Right now I don't see that you can take it out. I literally don't see. And I feel like you can block it for some time, but you can only block it if you like constantly focus your intention on it. It would drain 90% of your energy if you do that. And this thing, you know what it does? Basically, it's like a little crab thing. It comes over in the neuron, covers it all, takes over the inside, the essence of it, overlays it with its own program, makes it his, you know, and then produces little more. It's like a domino effect.
It's a self-replicating.
Yes, like that.
And so then if she has a relationship with anybody like my son, then he's going to get that too, right?
It spreads through it spreads physical contact. That's what I feel. It's like you have to be in close contact for it to get through your energy sphere. If you're not in the physical contact, just talk to a person like this. I see that it would get like dust get stuck on your energy sphere. Like imagine you're like in between you and that person a glass, which is your energy sphere protecting you. Will it get stuck on it? But you can cleanse it. You can wash it off, like
How do
you
you do that?
wash a car.
How do you cleanse it? Just with intention?
Yeah, just was intention and expanding your energy sphere, raising your vibration, burning it up. You can burn it up.
So the problem is that she's supposed to come down here in September, and my son wants to date her, and that's not going to be a good thing.
Yeah, but she barely accepted the book. She kind of left it to me like, what you're giving to me. She doesn't want anything to do with it. She's just kind of, she's not, I feel like she's not taking it seriously. She hears about, she gets scared for a second of people's reaction to the vaccine, but then she goes back to hearing that, oh, well, but the majority of people took it and they're fine. You know what I mean? That's how she is. I feel she's very young soul and very
Flighty.
right. Yeah.
So my son will really get this if he has a relationship with her.
Well, if he has a relationship, yes, he will get particles of it. Um, you have to be really in very high vibration to be able to be in a relationship and burn the particles up in your body like that. I feel like it's possible, but it's gonna take a lot of energy, focused attention to do that. But why would he even date her if she's, I mean, I just don't see them compatible. I just have to say that, that's what I see. I mean, his consciousness is much higher than hers. And I
Is
don't
there
know.
a,
I feel like she may not even come, to be honest.
oh, good. Good. That would be wonderful. Okay, so I was wondering something else. Somebody took my Merkaba that I had on my kitchen, in my kitchen. Do you see who took it?
And Reptilian showed up laughing. He said, but Merkaba is our device. We trick you humans. We took your device, made it ours, and a lot of times we have access to you through it.
Really? I thought that that was supposed to protect us.
That's what he just said.
So Kim didn't take it?
He's actually he took it. He's standing right in front of me. He showed me how Stars of David. He puts two of them, and it creates Merkaba. So showed to me. It's also, as I understand from what he said, the intention is everything here. That if you intend it to be for your protection, they will protect you. If it's connected to some egregor, some particular knowledge or group of people teaching something, or some master that you connect to him through that Merkaba thing, like ascended masters or angels or whatever, it just depends. It's the same like the tarot cards. You can be channeling your own soul and do the great thing for people doing the readings, because you're just like literally using your own soul's essence to.
Yes.
But if you use it in a different way, calling on for different spirits to help you out, that would be a bad thing to do. Well, the same thing, but he kind of said that everything that you've ever had, we took it, the idea, we turned it into ours, we gave it back to you, we connected it to some groups of ours, and we would drain energy from you when you use it, when you don't understand how to connect it to your true essence. But you would rather think that somebody from outside protecting you. He said, no, you can take a bead, put a thread through it, believe that the bead is a Merkaba, it protects you, and they will protect you. You understand how it
Oh,
works?
yeah. Everything is intention.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the thing is, so Kim did not take it?
I feel like it's stuck in some sort of, I see it stuck in a wall, okay? It's just like a wall, but it's energy wall, and it's stuck in there, and he's pointing at it with his claw and laughing. He said, like, your reality is moldable. I can mold it the way I want. It's like Play-Doh.
Huh. Okay. So this is interesting because I got that Kim took it. So this is really weird. All right. So the other thing is that I'm missing a pink crystal that was on my fireplace that my husband gave to me, and somebody took it. I can't find it any place. It was on my fireplace, but it's been missing for like a year or more. Do you see who took that?
I see it fall on the floor, crack, and some hands, like, put it in the garbage or something. It cracked. I see multiple pieces of it, like, really.
Hmm. Okay.
Like it fell. Just, just to not make you upset, and not, so you wouldn't know who did it. But I also feel like it fell on its own because you've had so many disincarnated entities coming into your house. The energy was really kind of choppy. It's just like a storm of energies everywhere. So I'm not surprised if you would put thing in one place and find it in the other. A lot of times they would shift everywhere.
Okay, so when I work on my indigo biofeedback, how can I make sure that nothing ever negatively infiltrates it, and so that I'm always free of interference? Because I sage and then I say a prayer after every single session. But is there anything more I can do to make sure? I even have a friend of mine to clear me and all my sessions.
Right, when you said a prayer, I see a bead of light showed up. It has a face of a kind of like skeleton with the robe and the hood on top. Whom do you do the prayer to? What kind of
To
prayer is
God,
that?
just to God.
Oh, that's the god that shows up though. Reptilian laughing again. He's saying, you are the god. You're all gods. We took the energy from you, created a god. Your god is who is on top of our pyramid. He's a reptilian god. Oh boy, it just gave me like a headache. This thing, the prayers, the problem was you, was all that.
So what can I do?
Um, it's like your concept of God. I understand. You're doing a prayer to outside, but you have to do it inside. You know,
Yeah, I
you are
understand.
a creator.
Yeah.
So because you were believing that something outside of you, you got this coming to you. And that's why that would cause interference into you.
Okay.
So just in mm, the whole word terminology of prayer, you become preyed on. You
Oh,
are
wow.
preying. Somebody's preying on you. Understand, right? They
Oh,
created
yeah.
this word on purpose. So you attract the being by saying it. Instead, say that you're just, you know, say nice. You can create a phrase and say that the phrase makes you and your client raise your vibration. It would be like your personal thing. I mean, some of my clients imagine, like, do this, hands up, and then they say, when I do hands up like a bird, I imagine I raise my vibration. That's my personal exercise I do. I mean, you create your own thing. You're a creative being. You can imagine a flower and your vibration will be up. It just doesn't matter what you do.
Well, that makes sense. Hmm. So do you see that currency? Can you ask if the currency is going to be reevaluated anytime soon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. within 2 to 3 months.
So will my currency that I purchased be worth money? Like
Yes.
equal? So it's not like, because I bought stuff and I didn't know whether it was going to actually be real money, like valid, like, because I bought it on eBay.
Well, the answer was yes right away from your subconscious. So it must be on the timeline from now.
So I am going to have money, like a good amount of money.
Your subconscious said there's going to be a twist. There's going to be a positive twist in everything. Little surprise.
Do
You
you
say it
know
to
what it is?
yourself. Hmm?
Do you know what the twist is?
Keeps changing towards, keeps changing. Timing. You also said you don't understand time really.
No, I really don't have a concept of time.
Yeah. It keeps saying soon, but that's always the answer everybody gets.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I do feel like it's soon myself, like me, myself in the physical body from everything I feel. And I keep seeing the number 4, so I guess it's like a matter of 4 months within the 2 to 3, 4 months tops. That's what I feel.
That would be wonderful. Well, I am going to, I know that you're tired and we've been going a long time. I'll definitely have another session because I have so many more questions. So I love talking to you though. And I know you're tired because you've probably been doing this all day.
No, I didn't.
You didn't today?
No, I was lucky today. I didn't have a session in the morning and I could sleep. But yeah, but I came from the beach with the kids, so. But no, yeah, I mean, after the first hour, we're pretty much drained of energy. I don't know how much time, but I feel it's much over 1 hour for sure.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of my energy, kind of.
Well, I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, 150 or something. It is. Oh, I said 150 or something and 140.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, well, let me turn up the recording.